All right, greetings, D2, the league. Welcome to the 5 nerdiest minutes of your week. Speaking of that, Roger is still on his strike um, because he doesn't have the trophy. I don't have the trophy either. Um, I don't know who has it. I think maybe Durs has it. Um, Maybe it's coincidence, but Roger, I don't think has won since he's been on strike. So, um, yeah, I'm not clamoring to get it back, but I'm just saying, I'm just making observations. You haven't won a game since you went on strike, and you really need to turn things around. So, anyway, gonna do a video rather than typing this all out because I wanted you guys to be able to see the spreadsheet as I'm talking about it. So, right now, Layman and I are tied for first place in the East, and Roger is sitting 2 games back. Now, Roger is not out of it. He will have to win out because either myself or Layman, Baronian or Cleveland will win in Week 13. So, bare minimum, one of us will finish with at least 6 wins. Roger has 3 wins right now. So if he wins out, he can still win. So I'll start with him. So these are the probabilities that Roger will win the division. So a few things have to happen. One, he needs to win out, and 2, he needs both myself and Layman to finish with no more than 6 wins. So in this situation, both Baronian and Cleveland finished with 6 wins. If Roger runs the table, which he will have beaten Baronian in Week 11, he will have beaten Cleveland in Week 12, and then I did also factor in him beating Jared in Week 13, which there's a very high probability of that happening. In fact, we have over here, we've got all the probabilities based off the formula that I put years and years of research into. So if Roger gets there, there's almost an 83% chance that he beats Jared that week. So, but he does have to get there. So he does have to beat both myself and Layman, and he needs a little bit of help because he needs us to continue to lose as well. So, how to read this table? There are 32 different sequences that can happen as far as winning is concerned between these 5 games, because 2 to the 5th power is 32. So there's 5 games of impact. I'm going to ignore Roger versus Jared at this point, though. So big matchup this week between Baronian Red Wings and Strong Badia Cheats, and then I get to play Duke, which at the beginning of the season looked like a really, really easy matchup. Not so much. Well, it is, but just not for me. It is for him. Week 12, Baronian does have to play against Chicago, so this helps out my team because instead of playing Chicago, I got to play Duke. Otherwise, we both play Strong Badia and we both play each other. So I play against Strong Badia in Week 12, and then I'm hoping that I at least have a chance come Week 13. Because the matchup that really just could determine who wins the division, we got Baronian against Cleveland. So these are all of the different ways that these sequences can happen. I have all 32 there, and then based off of the actual probabilities of winning, according to this over here, these are the likelihoods of each of this happening. So exactly, Baronian beating Strong Badia, Cleveland beating Duke, Baronian beating Chicago, Cleveland beating Strong Badia, and Baronian beating Cleveland. So there's almost a 2% chance of this exact sequence happening. And we work our way down. These are sorted by who will end up winning the division. There are a few times where both Layman and I finished with the exact same record. I figured out who would win based off of tiebreakers. There are a couple times where we finished 7-7 or we both finished 6-6. That it will come down to points. He currently has, I think, like an 80-point lead on me. So I'm hoping it doesn't come down to points. I hope that I'm just able to beat him outright. So what I did was, well, in the cases where you see strong betting with a probability here, these are the cases that he will at least tie for the division. But if he gets there, he will win the tiebreaker because he has to run the table. He will finish the division with a 3-1 record then, and he'll beat both Layman and I in the division standings because neither one of us will finish any better than 2-2. So if he runs the table, if Layman and I both finish with 6 or fewer wins, then Roger will win the division. So I took his probability of winning in week 13 and multiplied it by the likelihood that this would happen. So there's a 2.7% chance that these 5 games happen exactly like this, and Roger beats Jared. 5.6% chance, almost a 2% chance, and almost a 3% chance there. Now over here, if Roger's not impacted, I just simply copy this. For this, where Roger does have a chance, for Baronian to win it with this sequence, he also needs Roger to lose. So there's a very, very small probability of that happening. So I just subtracted Roger's probability. So these are the probabilities that Derek or myself will win if our name is here. And then the important stuff is this right here. Now, I thought my probabilities would have been a little bit higher than this. Unfortunately, I'm an underdog in all 3 of my matchups. So it will be unusual if I were to win the division. Baronian, basically a coin flip at this point, and Roger still has a decent shot. And the reason why that is he is a favorite in 2 of his games, and in the game that he's not a favorite, he's not a huge underdog whatsoever. So he does need to win this week. I'm rooting for him this week because I would rather him win than Baronian. He's got me in week 12, Roger does, so almost a 60% favorite, and then I've already mentioned this game, 83% favorite against, that should not say Connor, that should say Cal, almost an 83% favorite over Jared, if it gets to that point anyway. So, I sold off my team, so I shouldn't really be too upset at a 28.7% likelihood of winning the division. I considered doing this for playoffs as well. It gets really, really tricky because I would need to factor in the tiebreakers, which my original spreadsheet doesn't do a perfect job of. It's really tough to automatically calculate head-to-head wins, and that could definitely come into play, which Derek will not be able to beat me in because I beat him earlier in the year by like 2 points or something like that because he screwed up and played someone else. So this is the likelihood. Maybe I'll post odds underneath this video. So it is Layman's division to lose, but neither myself nor Roger are completely out of it. And this 6% could probably get pretty much added up there. The chances of me outscoring Baronian by 80 points over the next 3 weeks is pretty small. So if it comes down to points, I don't really like my chances. Yeah. So there you go. Layman, I tried handing you the division 2 weeks ago. You're leaving the door ever so slightly open for me, and I appreciate that. Have a good day, guys.